people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect, you know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
You know what's a to me? There's a who pick who he be fight with.
Right.
Like if you see it and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't him, but I'll fuck him up.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
Tony Yayo recently shared an incident involving J Prince that could be one of the most unexpected extortion stories in hip-hop. Here's a breakdown of how it unfolded. J Prince allegedly tried to enforce his infamous check-in or else rule on 50 Cent. However, 50 Cent didn't back down. Instead of submitting, he publicly exposed the situation, essentially daring anyone to challenge him. What had initially been a quiet standoff quickly escalated into an all-out confrontation between Houston's street authority and the battle-hardened New York rapper. But this tension didn't arise overnight. It had been brewing for years.
What's a to me? There's a who pick who he be fight with.
Right.
Like if you see it and you go, oh, I'm not going because this.
I won't him, but I'll him up.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight that you think you can beat.
J Prince, the influential founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, is far from just a prominent figure in hip-hop. He represents the epitome of street-level dominance. Houston is his territory. He operates discreetly, but when he makes a move, the effect is undeniable. His reputation alone commands respect across the city, and when J Prince speaks, people listen. For visiting artists, failing to check in with him could be disastrous, sometimes even costing them their chains or worse. His influence was that potent. On the other hand, 50 Cent came from a different mindset. He never played the street politics that were often dictated by self-proclaimed power figures. From the start, he was independent, always self-assured and ready for anything. No check-ins, no safety, just 50 and his crew, operating with focus and precision. His rise to fame came through feuds with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the entire Murder Inc. crew. That's how 50 cemented his place in hip-hop history.
Like I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax incentive was put
Well,
back.
yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal than that. Way more.
They can't see.
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway in the same building that they're saying was
Right
the
from
cheap
the
building.
beginning,
Right.
50 was
So
known
find
for
somebody
his
else to spend
refusal
20
back
million.
down. G-Unit wasn't just a record label, it was a well-organized, almost military-like operation. No check-ins, no gatekeepers, and certainly no paying for protection. That mentality was evident from the start. 50 wasn't here to follow anyone else's rules. So, when news broke that 50 was considering moving to Houston, it wasn't just about a city change, it was a statement. Moving to H-Town without checking in with J Prince wasn't just a snub, it was a direct challenge to his power. And yes, it happened.
Came to the city of Houston, but he didn't just come here to live. He has been helping out on so many causes in this city. And especially, he has been in our high schools, turning our high school students into entrepreneurs with his Unity Camp program. I've seen him firsthand. This city has been elevated because of his presence, and so today we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson. Now, before I call on him to speak, let me present you first a key to the city of Houston. Anywhere you go, 550 buildings, use the key, the door will swing wide open.
At first, the tension felt like an unspoken Cold War. 50 stayed in New York, doing what he does best, provoking and trolling. Meanwhile, J Prince remained grounded in Houston, maintaining his position as the quiet ruler. They exchanged indirect jabs, but never crossed paths, until 50 made a pivotal move with a tweet. "I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later." That moment changed everything. And no, it wasn't just for attention. 50 had legitimate business reasons behind the move. New York's high taxes were taking a toll on his earnings, so Houston made sense. More space, lower taxes, and an emerging music scene. Additionally, 50's Branson Cognac brand needed a presence in the South, and Houston's liquor market was booming. He wasn't just moving there to settle down, he was there to connect with the culture, expand his business, and reinvest in the city's entertainment sector. But here's where the friction began. He didn't check in with Jay Prince. Reportedly, Jay Prince didn't take too kindly to that. Some say he viewed 50's move as an attempt to assert influence without offering respect, a blatant sign of defiance in street culture. And when Jay Prince feels disrespected, pressure tends to follow. Rumors circulated that he sent people to approach 50, trying to get him to pay what's considered a local tax for protection. But 50 shut that down immediately. He made it clear to his team, G-Unit handles its own business. We don't pay for safety. He wasn't about to be treated like an outsider in a game he helped define. That's when things started to escalate.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
Reportedly, Jay Prince responded by imposing a no-fly zone on 50 Cent, essentially signaling that he wasn't welcome in Houston. Such a move might deter lesser-known names, but 50 Cent is hardly one to back down. Instead of withdrawing, he took to Instagram, turning it into his own stage, where he posted memes, witty captions, and pointed remarks, all landing with impact. It played out like a reality show preview, but the message was clear. He wasn't backing off. He came not to yield, but to invest. And while the back and forth played out publicly, 50 was already laying the groundwork for a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio in the heart of Houston.
Stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. We all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing, Rick.
Real talk.
That project held the potential to transform Houston's creative landscape, bringing jobs, internships, and fresh opportunities to the city. But before it could get off the ground, the entire $20 million investment was withdrawn and shifted to Shreveport, Louisiana. Officially, 50 cited better infrastructure as the reason, but for those paying attention, the underlying reality was evident. Houston's local tensions had grown too unpredictable. Known for being tactical, 50 wasn't, willing to navigate unnecessary risks. He made a smart, quiet exit and chose to build elsewhere. Ironically, while Jay Prince may have wanted him out, the city itself responded differently. In fact, Houston embraced 50 even more. By 2022, just a year after arriving in Houston, the entire tone had changed. Mayor Sylvester Turner publicly welcomed 50, presenting him with a key to the city and naming November 24th 50 Cent Day during the annual Thanksgiving parade. It wasn't just symbolic, he was being celebrated like a native. Turner didn't just refer to him as a rapper, but as a philanthropist and businessman. Through his G-Unity program, 50 began working directly with high school students, helping them develop essential skills. The public's response? Overwhelming support. That was just the start. Through the G-Unity Foundation, he began giving back, organizing turkey drives, donating toys, and aiding schools. He didn't simply relocate to Houston, he integrated into its community. With his Sire Spirits brand, he partnered with major teams, the Rockets, Texans, and Astros. In 2023 alone, he donated $850,000 in toys to local families, without fanfare, just through consistent action.
Appalled, you know what I mean? Because the little homie young boy place got broke into, people went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce. I got your keys to your McLaren. All that shit that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
We got your Rolls Royce umbrellas. We got your keys. Got a bunch of other shit, so.
Then came 2024. 50 helped raise $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity by auctioning off just 2 oversized bottles of his premium champagne, Le Chemin du Roi. That single event generated $6 million. While 50 was earning respect and giving back, Jay Prince, once a dominant figure in the city, appeared to be watching from the sidelines. Once a quiet force in Houston, he now observed someone else receiving public recognition, with media coverage and civic honors. Around this time, Tony Yayo, the most candid voice in G-Unit, spoke out during a Vlad TV interview, explaining their stance on the check-in culture.
It's like the Fed's not playing.
Yeah.
All around the board. New York City, we used to the federal indictments, but now you see them, they doing it in Atlanta, state indictments, they doing it in LA. But yo, bro, you gotta think about it. People travel to LA, they wanna be in LA to be comfortable. A lot of them houses getting ran in, robbed, can't go to this place to go town to go eat without getting a rodeo. When you see people getting robbed on rodeo,
yeah.
Oh, you know the Fed's coming.
According to him, G-Unit moved militant for a reason.
He never made me check in. He could have been like, yo, listen, you in LA now? I'm gonna need this much money from Vlad TV every month.
New York don't know nothing about checking.
I know, I'm straight out of New York,
Shout
right?
out to my from New York, because that's a whole nother like lane. We've been coming to LA since 204, 205, and like ain't never check in to nobody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just go to their hotel and move militant. You know what I'm saying? When you move around the city, bro, you gotta be careful. And that's just, we dealing with G-Unit. Had a lot of drama. So had to move militant. And just going to the mall and just going here with jewelry on and this and that. And you gotta move militant, bro.
Yeah.
You got wherever you at, you gotta move militant, because kill you over the smallest thing.
He got some advice for people like 50.
You gotta move militant, bro. You don't need to just be out there. That's why assistants are there. Go to the store for you. Go pick up food for you. That's how I was taught. Go pick this up for you. And the artist just chill, because the artist is the bag and the valuable one. We free dirt. We don't want to see rappers in jail and the feds jammed up. We don't want to see rappers dead, because niggas made it already.
Yayo was straightforward. G-Unit always operated with discipline, staying close-knit, independent, and steering clear of street affiliations. Regarding the check-in culture, Yayo didn't mince words. He described it plainly, a modernized form of extortion. The idea being, you either pay upon entering a city or risk becoming a target.
Hey, I don't want no friends, I don't want no new relationships. All that. Hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Man, you man.
Jay Prince earned his reputation by positioning himself as a protector of visiting artists in Houston, often seen as the city's informal gatekeeper. While the check-in culture appears courteous on the surface, a closer look reveals it often operates more as a subtle form of pressure than genuine hospitality. The unwritten rule? If you're conducting business or performing in Houston, you're expected to check in with Jay Prince, showing respect, which frequently equates to financial contributions. The idea is that doing so ensures your safety, and if something like your chain goes missing, it might conveniently reappear. But the pattern is clear. Issues tend to arise for those who skip the check-in process. Tony Yayo openly referenced Pop Smoke's tragic death as a warning. Placing trust in street protection without proper security can lead to devastating consequences. His perspective was straightforward. These protection networks come with risks and hidden obligations. When danger escalates, those connections can't always shield you. In fact, they can become liabilities, particularly as federal scrutiny increases. G-Unit deliberately chose a different approach. No check-ins, no obligations, no informal debts. They prioritized their own security, internal trust, and operational independence. From their point of view, it's more secure to depend on your own circle than to rely on someone who may have different motives.
You're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got.
Then came NBA YoungBoy's visit to Houston. He was there on business, but notably didn't check in. Soon after, things went south. His place was hit, valuables stolen, including chains, cash, and car keys. It had the appearance of a setup. Surprisingly, Jay Prince later posted on Instagram claiming to have recovered the stolen items. But instead of handling the situation privately, he went public with it, recording a video and uploading it online. YoungBoy responded swiftly, criticizing Jay Prince as a 60-year-old seeking attention. His point was clear. If the goal was truly to help, a private conversation would have sufficed. Making it public came across as self-serving. Soon, Kamran and Mino joined the discussion, questioning why Jay Prince was still operating as if he were running street politics in a modern era. Their argument was direct. True leadership is about uplifting others, not leveraging influence. And if someone is still caught up in street tactics at that age, it suggests deeper issues. Then came further scrutiny, particularly around the dice games.
Nothing should have happened. What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, you know, I have a track record, man, and the Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us, if you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything go.
One of the more controversial topics tied to Jay Prince is his alleged involvement in high-stakes dice games, which have gained notoriety not just for the money exchanged, but for what's rumored to happen behind the scenes. Whispers suggest these games are less about gambling and more about strategically targeting artists, drawing them in only to set them up. The most devastating example? Takeoff. That tragic night remains a painful memory for the hip-hop community. A dice game escalated into gunfire, and within seconds, one of the genre's most respected voices was lost. According to various street-level accounts, not just speculation from online sources, but reportedly from those close to the matter, Jay, Prince was upset that Takeoff and Quavo didn't follow traditional check-in practices when arriving in Houston. It's alleged that he approved a plan to intimidate them, not to cause real harm. But what was intended as a warning ended in irreversible loss. Takeoff was killed. When the spotlight turned toward accountability, Jay Prince reportedly avoided taking direct responsibility. Each time the topic came up, he deflected, shifted the focus, or avoided clear answers. There were even claims that he tampered with evidence, an action that goes beyond questionable judgment and enters legally serious territory. Then there's the case of Duke the Jeweler. After reportedly winning $100 at one of these dice games, he was attacked and killed before reaching his car. Another tragedy seemingly tied to these setups and a code that continues to harm the culture. Now contrast that with 50 Cent's approach. While one figure is accused of building influence through intimidation, 50 has been focused on constructive efforts, establishing community centers, providing meals, funding education, and creating a legacy that extends beyond music. Meanwhile, Jay Prince appears caught trying to maintain an outdated street persona. And here's the notable development. 50 Cent may not just be posting for entertainment anymore. According to reports, he's been quietly collecting evidence in the background.
When Mike and Junior was walking by, he actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the Takeoff. He had to pick him up. And his fingers went in it. You know why? Blood. Well,
50 Cent has been working behind the scenes, talking to sources, gathering details, and assembling what could potentially support the claim that the check-in culture is part of a broader extortion scheme. If federal authorities decide to investigate, things could escalate fast. This has moved far beyond internet banter. 50 is calculated. He doesn't make idle threats. He's transformed jokes into serious ventures before, and this time, he may be building something far more impactful. It might only take a single leak, a social media post, or an anonymous federal tip to dismantle the entire operation. While one figure clings to a legacy shaped by intimidation, the other is actively redefining what leadership looks like in Houston. Didn't just relocate to the city, he gained its respect. While J. Prince is accused of using fear to maintain influence, 50 has been acknowledged by city leaders, receiving accolades from the mayor, providing educational support through scholarships, hosting charitable events, and backing real community-driven projects. So the question now is, who truly holds sway in Houston? The man operating in the shadows, or the one with civic recognition and public backing? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Did 50 push the envelope too far, or is he the kind of leadership hip-hop needs to challenge outdated power? Structures? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. There's more to this story, and what's coming next might change everything. See you in the next one.